the Executive Director for the Little Falls Convention and Visitors Bureau. And I'm lucky enough to be a part of a team in Little Falls calling ourselves Town 101. It's residents who live here working on downtown revitalization. And so everyone got together, and we've been working since 2014. And one of the gals in the group named Kat Whittington had a really great idea. She said, let's try to fill those spaces downtown with pop-up shops. I questioned her and I said, what is pop-up shops? So after going on the internet and Googling what pop-up shops was, I said, what a great idea. And then what happened next is the gal bought a building downtown. She was part of our group. She says, let's do this together and work on downtown Little Falls. So with that said, we threw our ideas together and created an 8,000 square foot store that's almost directly downtown Little Falls. We call that Main Street. And we invited 35 vendors to start. We're up to 55 vendors. And the way it works is, you're going to hear the stories today about how everyone found the shops of Little Falls and how we're a giant team now. It's not, I'm a vendor, it's we are part of the team of Little Falls. So I'd like to introduce the guests we have here today. First, we have Marie Poling. Second, we have Dennis Myers. And third, we have Pat Steinle. So Marie, let's start with you, and let's tell your experience. How did you get here? What brought you here? And tell us about what you sell.
I remember well the day you came out to my house wanting to see my diaper creations, and we had a nice visit, and you told me your whole plan, and it sounded very intriguing and a great adventure for me. And so I started as #1 vendor, because I guess I was the first to commit. Then I told you about my daughter, who also is she's an artist in her own right, and she has Bewilderberries, and she committed, so she's #2. And she has different things that I have. She has silk screening, and she does them on towels, and she has comfort packs and signs that she does, freehand signs that are done on canvas. Very much the opposite of my creations. Mine is more three-dimensional. And but when they came to the store, it was all in bad shape. And you said we need to make this into one big store. And so a bunch of us got together and we painted in it and did all kinds of things that made it nice. And we did the floors, she did the floors while we did the painting. And now we have this great big store that's being filled with all of our other shops, and they have all become friends of ours. And so it's a nice, cozy little big store. Our little store is within a big store. And it's been fun and quite adventurous. My things are more, like I said, soft sculpture is what it is, actually. Each one is very unique. It's all one of a kind. There is not two that are identical of mine. But they make great shower gifts for babies, newborn babies, and nice centerpieces on a shower. Dennis is also my friend. And he is doing a wood turning that's beautiful stuff. And so you tell us about yourself then, Dennis.
Thank you. My name is Denny Myers. I'm from Royalton, a longtime Little Falls, Morrison County resident, retired military, and also retired county employee. I got into woodworking a number of years ago, and wood turning came after that, and I found that I had a real interest in this wood turning as an accessory to my woodworking. I forgot all about our get-together today. I came directly from my shop. I was in the finishing room working with some lacquer and some tung oil and some different projects. I went, oh my gosh, I got to hurry and run. So then all my glory and suspenders and whatnot, I'm here. But what I found is probably the most exciting thing for me at the shops has been when I see somebody pick up one of my pieces and not just put it down, but pick it up and hold it and I know that they're taking ownership of that, and it's given them great pleasure. So for me to turn one of these objects and to have somebody do that means everything to me. Now, that's not all, because what I found in the shops, and by the way, I was introduced to the shops by a friend on Facebook. They sent me the Record article, read that, saw that it was Phil and Susie Presapio, who are neighbors just up the road from me, and I went, I've got to do this. I've just got to do this. Anything that they're involved in, I want to be involved in. So that was really cool. And then the shops, and I'm number 10 vendor, I think. The people in the group are great, really supportive, mutually supportive and helpful. They'll have ideas about what I could do to improve my line, and the same goes from, I bought from both of these folks, and my biggest problem with the shops is that I probably spent more money than I should. But maybe that's a good thing too. It's been a lot of fun, and the greatest fear is that we would not be able to continue, but I understand that that's changed. We are. We're going to go forward with this, and we're an eclectic bunch, but we've got some really, really great things. And anybody who hasn't been to the shops, you're missing out. You're missing on something that's really great, and we're a pretty friendly bunch too. So I've introduced Patty, and it's your turn.
Oh, well, thank you, Dennis, whatever your name is. I am Pat Steinley, and I'm from Swanville, Minnesota, and I have done custom draperies for quite a few number of years, and we moved out to Swanville from Rogers in 2003, and my husband says, well, who's going to hang your draperies now? I'm done. I said, oh, I guess I'm retiring. Well, then one day my niece came down and she was wearing a pair of felted mittens, and I said, I can do that. So I went and I started buying wool, and started making mittens and sold them to friends first, and then I did some vendors. I went to some craft shows. Then in 2016, here I was reading the Morrison County Record, and here was the shops advertised, and I thought, that sounds great. I'm going to check into that. Well, I did, and I have a booth there, and I absolutely love it. Not only do I love the shops, I love everyone that works there. They are so friendly, lovely, and all those that are in charge help you. And I love that cat. I love Chris. And everyone in charge there, they're just some neat people to work with. And even after I did the mittens, then this year I started making cashmere mittens inside and out. And people put them on and they go, oh, they're so soft. And I've made hats, and I've made scarves, and also fingerless mittens. I almost forgot what they were. And I've got to tell you about this one story. It was at a craft show, and I was selling children's mittens, and this one lady bought a pair of children's mittens, and I put them in a bag. She paid for them. She went home. I never got her name or anything. Well, when I got home, I got the other pair that was similar, and they had the thumbs on the same sides, and I thought, I do not know this lady. I hope she calls me. She never has, and I'm still looking for her. So I love doing and working with the wool, and my whole basement is full of wool. And we just move things around when we go down there and walk around. So.
Let's talk about another thing. All of you are a team. You're 3 people out of 50. Let's just round it up a little bit. What has been the most challenging since the beginning of the shops for all of you? How about we go this way? Pat, you want to go with your biggest challenge?
The most challenge. Learning that I was going to run out of stuff. So I have to get down there and start sewing some more. And then making sure that my shop looked nicer so that I could update it. So we bought that cabinet, and that helped. And we put things in that. And then the draperies over the top, that helped.
So the displays, you all set up your own displays, and then you kind of care for your 10 by 10 or whatever space you have.
Yes.
Excellent. And Dennis, how about you? Your biggest challenge with a payoff?
Well, to recognize that I do have a talent is a lack of confidence in what I do, and to have it appreciated. But I think the most difficult thing at the shops was learning how to run the cash register. once I got that down, then it was a lot of fun up there. And also spending a lot of time in the different booths learning other folks' products. That took some time to do. I wanted to be familiar with everybody's stuff so that when the people would come and ask questions, that I would be able to answer some of those questions.
Here's a question. Do any of the diaper creations sing to you?
Well, yes. My first great-grandchild is due in January, and I saw your creations, and I went, I gotta have one of those. So my wife and I kind of looked around, and I said, that one. So I got one of them, and she's going to get that. Her baby shower is coming up pretty soon, so we're going to give that to her, and that's pretty cool. My wife loves those mittens. I didn't know there were cashmeres. I got to check those out.
How about you, Marie? What is the biggest challenge with the payoff since we started? Because you were here back in, end of April when we started thinking about what we're supposed to do with the building.
It's getting to know everybody's product. I agree with Denny. It is getting to know everybody's product. So when you're in there trying to work, when you're helping in there, you want to know about each one of the things so you can better serve the customers. So yeah, I think that is, and it's so fun to watch them purchase something from whoever, because we're all one big family, and so it's not at all a competition. It is that we all want to help each other, and we're so good at, everybody is so good at helping each other. It's a wonderful little family.
Someone said something that people, when they're working at the shops, know what else is going around town, talking about the attractions and the restaurants, and what else is there to do. When you greet customers, what kind of responses have you gotten from people walking in the door?
Wow, I didn't know this was here. And that's what I tell people, that there's 55 vendors in there now. Come in and see. There's everything in there, everything you could ever want. So I think that is great.
How about you? Responses from folks?
But I don't know if I have any kind of a response to it, but I always inquire, are you local? No, I'm not. Oh, where are you from? Seattle? Wonderful. What brings you here? Well, my sister-in-law brought me here. So when I see that we've got repeat customers, or customers who've been in and bringing family or friends over to the shops, that's real encouraging, and I like to work with those people and keep that thought and that feeling going.
Excellent. And how about you, Marie?
Yeah, I'm thinking that I'm right down that same line. I think that most of the times what I hear is, I can't believe that it's this big, because it's so big inside, or how you got this much in it, because there's a lot of wonderful artists in there. There's a lot of wonderful things. I mean, you could shop in there for a long time. You can't go through it very quickly.
Right.
You just can't. There's so much to see.
Well, all of you have added free coffee, Wi-Fi, and tea. And from a tourism representative point of view, you have created a destination in downtown Little Falls that I can attract people from St. Cloud, Nisswa, and other places to our town for shopping downtown Little Falls in our historic district. We have a beautiful town, and it's a great selling point. And I think I'm pulling the tourists in from 100 miles and closer. Those Seattle, Washington people, I do not advertise out in Seattle. I just don't think it's equitable. So when relatives bring people in and they say, this used to be the National Tea Company or the Thrifty White or whatever buildings used to be downtown, it's neat to see the residents proud of their downtown once again. And so because of all of you and all of your peers, the Shops of Little Falls will continue on, and it's a great adventure, and I'm really glad I get to play. So thank you for everything today, and if you guys ever need anything, I'm here for you, because I'd like to bring the customers to your store, and I shop there too. I'm in. And so we actually have gift wrapping as well. I don't know if you saw the entire boxes and bows and ribbons. Wow. So what I'm going to do is go shopping, have my present wrapped, go down to the Black and White and eat, and go pick it up when I'm finished, because I am not a wrapper. I'm the executive director of the Visitors Bureau, not a rapper.
That's right.
Thank you very much, you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.